Hello, and welcome to today's reading. Today we are going to focus on what can we find out about your karma. Where are you at with your karma? There are many different cultures that have varying takes on what karma is, how to talk about it, and this is just meant as a gentle, generalized check-in with you and what your belief systems are about karma. If this still resonates with you, then this is your reading. We have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 is a red agate. Kind of looks like petrified wood to me. Is an agate. Pile number 2 is a multicolored calcite. And pile number 3, we have a polished zebra jasper. Feel free to choose one or more of these piles, and I will see you guys there. Bye. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the agate or the first pile, then this is your reading. First, I wanted to grab my notes about the agate and tell you a little bit about the crystal that you chose before we get into the pile. Now, this reading is all about karma, and so the themes of the crystal, the spiritual guidance, and all of the tarot and oracle cards that we get today are going to reflect that theme of karma. Again, what it means to you, your belief systems, and how you interact with that in your life. Agate is a very strong, beautiful, striking gem. And it is known as the stabilizer. People have been using this stone specifically for all kinds of balancing. There is a strong emphasis of focus, helping with mental focus, meaning that you yourself probably are somebody that has a very strong inner world or mind, somebody that has potentially clairaudience, like you can hear your guidance in your mind, whether you're praying or meditating or whatever you believe in, that you hear guidance throughout your life. In your mind as a thought, not necessarily just audible, but something that you feel like you can relate to as you're in your inner world. And that is also a strong emphasis on protection. Protection coming from a place of wisdom. I get very strong earth energy vibes from agate in general, especially red agate. This particular piece looks like petrified wood to me. It's agate, but that gives me a very strong, grounded energy, one that in terms of karma, you have a very strong emphasis on karma in your lifetime. This could be that you are very aware of the concept of this in your life. This is something that you have been working with, something that you're really interested in. The idea of like ancestral karma is coming into play here, where you might feel a very strong tie to your family, your family's history. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of grounded energy here just right off the bat, which I chose agate with this deck. This deck is all about herbalism, you know, really connecting to Mother Earth and the resources that we have on the earth. It's called the Herb Crafter's Tarot. And so right away we're getting a strong sense of feeling grounded to the earth, a deep sense of knowing about one's karma, one's family, one's ancestral karma, something along those lines. You are a stabilizer. There's a stable energy to you, whether you feel that about yourself or maybe others find that to be true about you, that you're just like a steady person. We're going to go ahead and pull some tarot to get further into this energy. Yeah, I believe that there's Montana agate that some people believe helps clear past life karma. I have that written down. That is like a cycle breaker. So yeah, that ancestral karma, that strong sense to past life energy or past life karma, those types of themes might resonate to this pile in particular as just like extra confirmation, but that's definitely where we're just jumping into. So let's find out, what can we find, what clues, what information can we find out about where you are currently right now in your karma, your karmic cycles, karmic relationships. What is the focus for you? Advice, and then things to look out for. So the first card that we have is the Awakening card, or Tulsi. And we're going to get some clarifying. We have Strength in the reverse, or Garlic. And this is our advice. And we're going to go ahead, flip these back over, and we're going to ask for signs to look out for, that you're continuing on the right path. We have the Eight of Earth in reverse, or turmeric. This is also the Eight of Pentacles. And I'm going to go ahead and get some clarifiers for all three of these before we continue. Right off the bat, we're definitely getting some we've got Earth vibes, Pentacles, we've got some major arcana here. Definitely talking about like a larger karmic cycle. So we've got some depth already. We're gonna take this one that flipped over, and then we're gonna take this one, because those are the ones that I saw. And then we've got the bottom of the deck energy right there. Okay, so right off the bat, like I said, clarifying, we've got the Six of Wands reversed, we've got the Sun reversed, clarifying our Strength reversed, and we have the Four of Air, or the Four of Swords upright, clarifying our what is to come. So like I said, starting off, we definitely have some strong themes happening. Our Awakening card right here is definitely telling me that you are somebody that has had to go through a lot of inner revelations, things that might not have been celebrated as much. Maybe your family doesn't recognize the hard work that you're putting in. Maybe they don't understand the dedication, the loyalty, the connection that you do feel. Maybe they don't reciprocate that. Maybe you do have a strong connection to your family, a strong emphasis on either your family that you are currently living with, not necessarily blood, if that makes sense. This can be friends, people that you're doing life with now. This can be your real family. But there is like a sense of a lack of acknowledgement, a sense of defeat on your end, currently, feeling like maybe you have worked through so much. We have major arcana vibes. This is a big deal. This is something that you've been going through throughout your life up until this point, and you feel like you have been definitely working on healing things, on balancing things, on addressing things, and maybe others around you are not living that life. That's not the era that they're living in. They are not looking at how to better themselves or having conversations about how to reflect on past mistakes or, the current situation of the world that we're in. It could be so many different things. This is a general reading, but there is a sense that currently you feel, or maybe your circumstances have been kind of reflecting to you that there's a lot of hard work that you've been doing that is going unappreciated, unacknowledged, and it sort of feels like a defeat. Like, you're doing something really worthwhile. You're doing something really important and necessary, not just for you, but for others. It means something. There's some depth to what you are doing in your life. But there is this sense of not being acknowledged or celebrated, or that it's sort of an isolating thing. We have advice. Right now, the Strength card being reversed, and this is garlic. And as you see, there's also like a honeycomb right here. And this is kind of talking about creating like a tonic for sickness, kind of like warding off, infections and things like that. And we also have the Sun being reversed. So the Sun is the card of just absolute joy and freedom and fulfillment and happiness. And this Strength card is often understanding the balance of when to be strong, when to be soft, when to let go, when to push forward, that kind of a thing. And a lot of people get the Strength card. If you've ever had it in a reading before, it can be, you'll understand the themes. It comes out often when we are going through really trying times, really difficult times, and it's present often when we are needing to be reminded that strength doesn't always look like one way. And right now, in the advice column, in the advice section of our reading, having Strength and the Sun being reversed, to me, is telling me that you have learned the lesson of when to be strong and when to be soft. And the advice in this time period is to really focus on yourself and understand that there are things that make you happy. Like what I'm noticing right now are these blossoms that are like in the middle of this beautiful altar and sort of mandala. This is, I believe, a jar. And it's like a jar where they're going to gather, and like this is the top that they would seal it off in. This is for you, this like inner world and celebration of things that, you find in the world and in your life and in your spiritual journey, as things that are enlightening you, are igniting you with happiness, with vibrancy, with determination and motivation, and that you don't need to lean into the sort of defensive being strong, understanding that you just have to get it done and work hard, play hard kind of mentality. There is an emphasis on really just kind of trusting the process of what you've already been working on. The Six of Wands means that you are, I'm getting this like, you are celebrated in realms that most other people don't understand. Like, you are celebrated in spaces that the future you will be able to celebrate with. Like right now, the celebration is happening behind the scenes with your angels, with your spirit guides, with your ancestors and past loved ones, with yourself, your inner child, yourself. Being proud of yourself is a really big emphasis. Celebrating yourself is the emphasis that I'm getting here with this middle column advice. The things that we're looking towards, the things that we're looking for in terms of how are you going to know that you're on the right path and that these things are in the direction that you're heading in terms of your karma, the things that you're trying to find. Like, am I doing this correctly? Am I balancing things correctly? We have the Eight of Earth reversed, which is turmeric, and I love this photo. The dye and using turmeric in varying ways. Turmeric is super, super healthy for you, very medicinal, and can be very earthy in terms of taste. I like to add turmeric and cinnamon to my coffee grounds because I feel like I kind of like the earthy sort of notes there, but it can be kind of extreme. And the Eight of Pentacles can talk about sort of like a reoccurring, repetitive, potentially tedious or monotonous experience of sort of doing the same thing over and over again. And what turmeric talks to us about in this card, in this deck, is that there's a preparation in order to be able to duplicate your dye and, you know, being able to create a whole bunch of pieces from just one simple root. You have to prepare it to be able to create the dye, but that lasts for so long, and that there's like a preparation season that you have been intuitively feeling. And that preparation has been in the work that you've been doing in your karma, in your life, in your life choices, the things that you're letting go of, the things that you're embracing. You've been working really diligently with your spiritual practices, and it's going to show. The preparation that you've been doing, I'm feeling like it's not going to be this monotonous, tedious thing. It's going to set you up for the sort of ability to use all of the things that you're learning right now, all of that wisdom that we were just talking about in the beginning of your reading. And I love that the color of this agate is also kind of matching this turmeric color, which is just really kind of a nice grounding like reminder, kind of mirroring each other in message that you are a very deep rooted person. And the things that you have been doing, Eight of Pentacles talks about like taking a long time, or like Pentacles are very slow moving energies in general. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, like earth energy is very stable and grounded. And having that connection here in your reading as something that you are looking towards, maybe that's not something that you find you feel about yourself, or maybe that's something that you've been working on trying to establish as that stability, that consistency, or you're just kind of a future thinker, a dreamer, a visionary, and you're going to see the processes of your difficult lessons that you've been learning, the things that you've been integrating into your life, that wisdom that we were talking about. And it's going to set you up to be able to use I'm just saying, like, the rest of your life. Like, you're going to see this time of your life as something that you're like, man, this really has become a skill for me. This really has become a deep part of my understanding of my worldview and how I view people and how I view myself and how I move through the world, because there's such depth to this. And We are also seeing the Four of Swords, which is lavender. This is peace. This is peace of mind. We talked about having like a heavy emphasis of your inner world with your thoughts, like knowing in your mind, having that focus in the beginning. And you are going to find that you are entering into going down this path. You're getting confirmation and affirmation that when you find yourself really experiencing peace, especially about things that might have caused you anxiety before, you're gonna embody these lessons that you've been working on karmically in a way that manifests itself sort of effortlessly for you. You have a lot of really gentle reminders that this under the deck energy, this Queen of Pentacles, okay, abundance, plenty, stability. I'm really feeling stability, groundedness, consistency, safety for my pile ones. We're going to go ahead and get a few oracle cards, but I'm going to pause the video really quick for my battery. Let's see. What can we get information about karmically for pile number 1? Well, that flipped over quite aggressively, and we're going to go ahead and take it. Let me get it to focus on the card. There we go. It says the seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. So this is definitely talking about how you are somebody that is having deep revelations. There's a depth of emotional understanding here. There's a lightness about you, a focus of you really bringing light into your life, into your relationships and circumstances around you, because you are so deep. We talked about this depth. Having lightness is maybe something that seems to come naturally to other people, but truly is like a spiritual practice for you. And let's get some astrology to kind of round this message out a little bit. What astrology can help pile 1 understand more about the karma in their life that they've been working on and that they are experiencing currently? We've got the Sun. So to me, in terms of the reading that we're doing, the karma that we are sort of addressing and trying to get information about, I'm sorry that it's not being... Well, I'm sorry about that, but we have the Sun. This is about you, pile 1. We've got the Sun twice in your reading, and there's a strong emphasis on, in terms of astrology, what is your Sun sign? What is your identity outwardly in your birth chart? There's a lesson about either you embracing a part of your personality, a part of your natal chart or identity, or just authentic sort of self-acceptance of, remember, things that are bringing you joy, things that are making you feel alive and excited about life. there is a big emphasis on that being a part of your karma right now. And if that resonates, then it definitely is going to make a lot of sense with all of the cards that we have. And there's a big emphasis on joy. That's that lightheartedness, that light, that literal light from the sun, being able to kind of reconfigure the narrative of your life currently, in terms of the karma, in terms of the lessons that you're learning, that you're working on, things that you are building towards. It should all be around this idea that you are creating the life that you deserve, desire, and that it has a lightheartedness to it, a balanced element to it. And you really need to lean into that with this message of the bringing unconscious to light, our Four of Swords, that peace of mind, and the sun. You've got a lot of light and energy kind of pointing towards that messaging, pile one. So right now your messages are: lean into the things that are bringing you the energies of sort of a lighthearted experience. Trust the process. Trust that you have created a process for yourself, and that as you are leaning into those things that you, spirit, your spirit guides, whatever your practice is, that as you're seeking that out, you will find the true happiness and fulfillment you're looking for, and it will manifest that through sort of a beautiful, peaceful experience. You'll have a lot of peace surrounding you with that Four of Swords. Well, that is all that I'm saying for you, pile one. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. So before we get started with the actual tarot cards, I have some notes about the overall energy that is normally associated with the multicolored calcite. It's known as like a cleanser. It has a heavy emphasis on love, relationships, healing, compassion. There's definitely an emphasis on pushing forward. The energy behind this is giving like highly intelligent but connected to compassion or humanitarianism, very strong like Aquarius energy. This pile also is giving extremely magnetic. You draw attention, you walk into a room and people notice you right away. This energy is definitely one that this pile might struggle with anxiety or stress or like nightmares or rumination in general. And this stone is definitely good for self-acceptance, and that particular energy of self-acceptance might be very important or helpful for those who are in this pile or who felt drawn to this pile. Calcite is one of my favorite stones to work with, and I love this one in particular. I love how colorful it is. There's green, there's gray, there's white, there's black, there's pink. It's just absolutely beautiful to look at, and I definitely think it gives that sort of magnetic pull. The thing about having a magnetic pull or a natural energy that sort of draws attention or can magnetize people to you, that can also kind of be an isolating place to feel, where you might feel like you perform a lot. There might be a lot of people pleasers in this pile. Regardless, that self-acceptance is definitely the energy that I am sort of feeling like I want to lean into as we get started with your reading. So let's go ahead and get some tarot cards. I like to do 3 piles. One, the first card represents the energy that you have surrounding you currently. So because this reading has to do with karma, the first energy, the first card is representing the energy of the karma that you are dealing with currently, or that is currently surrounding you. The second card will be advice from your spirit team, your higher self, source. And then the third pile will be, how do you know that you're on the right path and that you're heading in the right direction given your karma, the energy that you're working with? So let's go ahead and get our first card for pile 2. What is the current karma or energy surrounding pile 2's karma? We're going to take the one that flipped. And we're going to keep shuffling to get all 3. We have the 2 of coins or the 2 of pentacles. What is advice for pile 2's karma, or the energy that is surrounding their karma? We have the 8 of pentacles. And let's go ahead and get, what is the signs that pile 2 is on the right path? That one flew off. But we have our third card as well. So let me go ahead and put this to the side, and we'll go ahead and divine what we have so far. So in the pile of your current karma, the energy that you are working with right now, pile 2, we have, like I said, the 2 of coins, the 2 of pentacles. This is definitely an energy of shifting and balancing, just kind of like the energy that we started off with the calcite. You are definitely somebody that probably really understands how to push through. We had that energy of like pushing through, persevering. This is definitely the pile that can take on a lot at once, and this doesn't just mean physically. This is spiritually. This is emotionally as well as physically. You are somebody that has a lot on your plate, and you have for a while. You've been learning that lesson of how to balance things out. You've been learning the lesson of having too much on your plate, seemingly too much of a load. Sorry if you hear any noises in the background. That's my dog Chico just doing his like endless circles trying to get cozy, which is, I always think, is a funny oxymoron now that I'm talking about this sort of energy of how much work it takes. He's a little dachshund Jack Russell Terrier mix, and they're known to like do the circle thing until they finally get cozy. And it's just funny. I've always thought it was funny. It takes him so much work to find like the perfect cozy spot. And so you might have felt like that in the energy that you've been working with, in that even something that is as seemingly achievable as getting comfortable and resting and creating a day or a moment to yourself is just full of obstacles. It's full of, you know, a series of unfortunate events, like everything feels difficult, even though it shouldn't. And you've been having to balance not only doing a lot, because the pentacles are physical. This is the physical realm. This is habits. This is lifestyle choices. You've been busy, but you've also been burdened emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And the advice for you from your spiritual team is the 8 of Pentacles. Now, this particular deck has a different piece of lore or myth attached to each of the cards. And this one in particular is about this girl who is working with this very thorny plant to create these pentagrams to help free her brothers who have entrapped themselves as like swans in a curse. And so the Eight of Pentacles talks about this monotonous needing to do something, needing to provide, your job, your lifestyle choices, like we were talking about, those habits, those routines. And in this particular deck, the story sort of takes on another layer of, sometimes the work that you do is not even necessarily your own karma, your own work to be dealing with. And this pile might know exactly what that's like. And the advice is to sort of accept that sometimes the work that you're doing, if it feels like it's too much, or it feels like it's not fair, or if it feels like it's been taking too long, the Eight of Pentacles can also talk about like a prolonged feeling, like you've just been at this for a long time. And combined with the Two of Coins and the Eight of Coins as your advice and the energy that you're working with is like, don't doubt the work that you are putting in. Don't doubt yourself. Don't make yourself the problem, like you're being punished, or like you deserve nothing to be easy. Don't allow those types of thoughts to come into your mind, because there is so much purpose behind the things that you're working with. And we are talking about karma specifically. And as I mentioned in the intro, that would be the karma that you believe in and how you interact with that on a daily basis. Given that we have some pentacles, this is some lessons that you've been working on in the physical, in your life, and it probably has been a minute since you've been working with this. Now the energy that you are going towards, the signs that you're on the right path, and that the things that you're doing with this karma, with this energy, are leading you to what is ahead, to the next step, is the Ace of Swords. Now the Ace of Swords is absolutely fresh energy. It is a gift from above, the divine. This is your spirit team coming in and really saying that, like, because of all of the work that you have been doing, you are going to be able to have so much wisdom to be able to talk about it, to be able to put it into words. Now, this could be as simple as a parent who has gone through, years and years of trying to figure out how to, shop on a budget appropriately, just as an example. And now they're teaching their teenage child or young adult child how to successfully shop on a budget to keep keep their finances in order and to help take care of themselves, so that they're thinking about everything. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, tears, practice of being able to know how to communicate that. The other thing that's coming through, this is a general reading, so it's going to be different for everybody, but there's going to be this period of your life where you're beginning to just have clarity of mind. You're beginning to have thoughts, revelations, an inner voice of yourself that's no longer critical, that's clear, that's proud, that's full of wisdom. We're going to get some clarifying cards to kind of round out this message and give us some deeper insight on exactly what your karma that you're working with is like, the advice, and the energy that you're moving towards. So that Ace of Swords is definitely coming in to give you fresh newness. We have the Hanged Man under the Two of Coins. That's perspective. Yeah, you've really been working on understanding how to do these things, not just being burdened by having so much to do physically, with multiple jobs, with, homeschooling your children, with, trying to keep up with pets or loved ones, or your car. There could just be a lot of labor of love, and there's been a requirement of a balancing for you. The energy that you're working with is really teaching you perspective and how to balance that. You're becoming like a master of being able to work with a lot on your plate. Pile 2. Let's get advice. Clarify the 8 of coins for pile 2, please. What is advice with how they can work with the energy that they're working with? Okay, we've got 2 cards that came out. We've got the Page of Swords and the 2 of Wands, and I'm going to leave them in clarification for our advice. And also, we're going to get our final clarifier for the energy that you are moving in the right direction. So let's start with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a card all about seeing things from a different perspective and knowing that there is purpose and there is direction and there is more at play than just the things that are in front of you, and having the ability to flip the perspective. There becomes like a fractalization with the Hanged Man, in my opinion, because you can kind of always flip the script a little bit. You can always re-look at something, rediscover truths that just are never ending. And that's the beauty of the Hanged Man energy and what it represents. It's not especially in this position, overthinking in a bad way or overanalyzing in a bad way. It's connecting you to opening your mind and opening your heart and opening your understanding of how those things connect. So this 2 of Coins being clarified by the Hanged Man is beautiful confirmation, pile 2, that you have a lot on your plate, but you are fully aware of how to utilize the energy that you have in your life, this karma that you've been having to work with, this energy, whether it be yours, somebody else's, some sort of decisions and energy that you are needing to balance and work with more than one thing at a time. You are a busy, busy person, pile 2. And with this advice, this 8 of Coins clarified by the Page of Swords, there's definitely another person involved in this karma. We've got conversations happening. And then we also have the 2 of Wands here. So that message that we got about this karma having purpose, these tasks that you're having to do physically, whether it be the jobs that you're doing or taking care of loved ones, like I said, or changing your lifestyle habits, there's purpose that's beyond just you and your life. I mentioned siblings or children. Family karma could definitely be pretty strong and prevalent for you at this time. This could be a spouse. This could be just, again, being in circumstances where you're dealing with the consequences or the energy of other people and the things that they've been leaving behind for you to deal with. But this Page of Swords here and this 2 of Wands, there's this urgency in looking ahead. There's this urgency in knowing that things are going to change, that this is a temporary situation, and that these conversations that you are having about the things that you are doing, the advice from your spirit team and your guides is to have conversations with them spiritually, to be praying about it, verbalizing your affirmations to yourself, if that's a part of the work that you're doing, having conversations about what you want the outcome to be of this work that you're putting in, combining this visionary dream, this direction that you have, planning. This is spiritual energy, this 2 of Wands. And this is motivation, determination, and planning. Knowing that you are going to have your ships come in and you know which harbor they're going to be in. You're waiting, you're watching. There's a sense of expectancy here. And that Page of Swords really encourages you to verbalize it, whether it's your prayers, your affirmations, conversations with people that you know or don't know, making kind of a declaration of the energy that you are moving towards. This final pile of what is the energy that you are moving towards, and how are you going to know that you're on the right path? You have the Ten of Wands, which is definitely an ending. This is an ending, knowing that you are done with this chapter. This has definitely been a long time coming for you, pile 2. We've talked about that. You've been working with this energy for quite a long time. You have brand new, fresh energy coming in, and you have a card symbolizing the very end. So this urgency for you to talk about and plan about where you're heading and how this energy is going to set you up for the next step. That's important because your spirit team is letting you know that you are very, very close on the precipice of being able to finalize this karma, these lessons, this energy that you've been working with, pile 2. Let's get a few oracle cards to see if we can find any further information about the energy that you've been working with and your karma. Can you give me any more information about pile 2's karma that will help them work with the energy that they are currently working with? All right, we have a card. We have the Whale and Orca Elders. I love this deck. This says, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So share your song is really making me think about that Page of Swords that we got in the advice column, and how there's definitely conversations that need to happen, like a verbalization of your plans, of your understanding of the things that you've been going through, of your your wisdom, pile 2, that you have from going through all of this. Sharing your song, sharing your perspective. You've got that Hanged Man. You've got the right perspective. You have a beautiful understanding that only you could understand because of the life experiences that you've been through. I don't know where it cut off exactly, but frequency of sound, it might be really helpful for you to be able to integrate this energy and work with this energy that you are working with currently, this karma, these lessons, by listening to frequency music. Currently, I am listening to, let me see, and I will put a link in the description below, but I'm listening to 528 hertz plus 174 hertz. So it's frequency music that is all about deep and pure love. But sound baths, guided meditations, opening the windows and listening to the sounds around you, music obviously as well, might be really important to you, or might have already been really important to you. This can be ways that your guides continue to speak to you as you are working with this. And it's really important that you do share your insight with the rest of us, the rest of the world, as they come to you with this clarity and this Ace of Swords as you're taking these steps forward. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating for you. If pile 2, there is something that you do want to share with me and our community, go ahead and do so in the comments. It's just something that maybe might be beneficial for someone else. You never know. I always get encouraged by reading and talking to other people about subjects like this online. So now I want to get an astrology card for you, pile 2, to see your natal chart specifically is going to speak the most efficiently to you in the energy that you are working with currently. But I like to always try to get some astrology that maybe can help, like as a little nugget of, you know, pile 2, whatever this astrology that we get, go look on that on your particular natal chart, and you can read all of the transits that are happening currently. You can read about the placement of that astrological planet in your chart, what that means if you don't know already. But Spirit, can I get one astrological body that is helping pile 2 right now with the energy that they are working with? Can you give us any further insight about well, there we go. We've got Aquarius, and I'm not surprised because that was definitely in the energy that I was feeling in the crystal that we chose, the multicolored calcite. Aquarius has that humanitarian, strong pull towards compassion, and also very future forward thinking associated with the with this placement. Now I would definitely recommend looking up Aquarius in your chart, or the themes of Aquarius in general. Pluto also went direct into Aquarius just a few days ago, so all of these things in combination with where you naturally find yourself digging around on the internet about Aquarius and what that might mean to you can help you integrate these messages and this energy further. That's all that I'm seeing for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys next time. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the zebra, jasper, or pile 3, then this is your reading, all about the current karma that you are dealing with, a check-in on your karma. What is the energy that you're working with in general? So before we get started with the tarot, I have some notes about the zebra jasper, the crystal that you chose for your pile. It is known or associated with the energy of someone who is very determined. Zebra jasper is definitely known for perseverance and definitely warrior energy, fighter vibes, someone that has a lot of oomph or tenacity in their aura, in their energy field. It is definitely a stone that you can use to help boost your motivation if you find yourself feeling apathetic. It is something that has a deeply rooted connection, this jasper and this zebra jasper specifically. So there's a heavy emphasis on earth connections. You might have earth placements in your chart that are heavy, or you also might be somebody that really resonates and connects with nature in general. There's definitely a grounded energy with this stone. There's a huge emphasis or association with aura protection and protection work in general with the zebra jasper, as well as the ideas and themes of duality. Oops, excuse me, that fell off. Of duality. So you might be somebody that, like I said, has a lot of earth in their chart. You might be somebody that connects with nature in general, somebody that also is not really like spooked by some darker themes of spirituality or life in general, just ideas of darker themes, as well as the karma that you've been dealing with might be something that you've understood extremes of things. When things have been really good, they've been really good. You've had victories. You've had success and abundance. When they've been bad, they've been really bad. You have almost been, you know, through the depths and in the mud and in places that people around you have never had to experience. So you've experienced like extremes, or you understand, like I was explaining, sort of darker themes as well as lighter themes in terms of spirituality or belief systems. I like to do 3 cards. What is the energy that you're currently working with? What is the current karma that you have? Advice. And then the third is, how do we know that you're on the right path? What is the energy, the signs that you'll start seeing, knowing that you are on the right path? We have the 6 of Cups in the first column for the energy that you are working for. Let's get advice before we go ahead and divine. We've got our advice card. It went right exactly where it should go. And let's get that final energy for where you're heading for pile 3. Knowing that you are on to the next thing out of this current energy. What are the signs? Spirit, can I have a card, please? There we go. We've got our 3rd card. So we've got our 3 cards, and we're going to go ahead and start with the card that represents the karma that you're currently working through or have been working on, the energy that you are currently working with in general. And that is the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Shells in this deck, or the manatee. Now, as I said in the intro, this is a reminder that whatever karma means to you personally, your belief system, and how you interact with it, that is how we are informing ourselves about the karma as the cards come out. The 6 of Shells is definitely giving me a very strong sense of karma in terms of ancestral karma. I'm not seeing like past life energy here. This feels like the things that you have been working with and the energy that you've been working with has been something that is a very emotional, intuitive sort of experience for you. Pile 3, I definitely see you as somebody who might be seen as an empath, maybe somebody who might have been resonating with like a sensitive type of a person, or like an emotional, intelligent type of person. You definitely have a strong ability to feel the room, read the room. You can sort of understand the energy of people or places before you find out for sure that that's the vibe. Like, you have that strong intuitive sense. Now, the energy that you're working with, like I said, has a strong sense of past karmic energy, but specifically with family. And I'm feeling like ancestral karma. There's something about the way that your family deals with emotions, the way that your family deals with mental health is coming up, but also how they deal with maybe some of the like harder themes in life, the themes of life that require us to be extremely compassionate about. You have had to, or chosen to, however you resonate with that, really wade through those types of experiences as a person. The energy you're working with is perhaps overwhelming at times. There might be depression, there might be a feeling of isolation, like nobody else understands you or understands the depths that you have been through, or that you feel, or that you can understand. And I want you to know that your team is acknowledging that they do see you. Your ancestors and passed down loved ones are also explaining to me that there's this honoring, this like extreme acknowledgement for you right now. So if that resonates with you, that you have been dealing with healing trauma, healing and addressing mental health issues with yourself, and allowing your family specifically to see you do all of those things. Like, maybe they don't accept those things right away. Maybe they're learning from you. But you are definitely healing some deeper, unseen things. Pile 3, as you're healing yourself and you're addressing that mental health and you're addressing those things that we've mentioned, there's an acknowledgement from your ancestors that it's doing a deep healing. And I just wanted to go ahead and give that some space. Our advice column is the Seer of Feathers. I believe this is... I haven't looked at this deck in a minute, and I've been using a different deck for all of my readings, so I'm just going to go ahead and look in the book and make sure. Got the parrot. And his feathers. Let's see. Yes, it is. It is the Page of Swords. Just making sure in this one. Okay. So, pile 3. We have the Page of Swords in the advice column. Now, this card came out for another pile in the same exact section, and so I am kind of feeling a pretty similar experience or a similar message here, which is there's a conversation, a verbalization. There's something about the energy of you speaking this process out loud. The things that you've been going through emotionally. Now, talk therapy is coming to mind. Maybe you haven't done talk therapy and you'd like to try it. That could definitely be something that works for you. Or therapy in general has been working. This is advice that keep doing that. Keep going. It's doing exactly what you are hoping that it is doing. This is also about having conversations. There might have been some messages earlier with this card that I was talking about where your family doesn't really accept the way that you're dealing with your mental health or the way that you empathize and are coping with the things of this world that are extremely sensitive or things that require a lot of empathy to be able to talk about them. You're being encouraged to have those conversations. And you're also being acknowledged that if you have been having those conversations with your family members, that this isn't part of the karma that you're supposed to be working through. It's a part of the lessons that you're supposed to be learning through this energy. Having those conversations about why you're choosing to walk through these types of things the way that you are, pile 3, it's really important. It's empowering, and it's going to ignite something in either your family members or the people around you. Have conversations, talk about your journey, talk about why you're the things that make you feel deeply matter to you. Talk about them. Our energy for how you know that you are on the right path, entering into the next step, the next stage, moving on to something different, or just that you're on the right path in general, is the Guardian of Shells. This is the King of Cups. Now we've gone from the Six of Cups to the King of Cups. The King of Cups is somebody that truly has emotional boundaries, understands how to take care of themselves, understands how to live with the ebbs and flows of the depths of our emotions. You see, he's literally swimming on the bottom of the ocean towards the bottom, and you are figuring out how to take care of yourself, pile 3, through all of those emotional sort of themes, intuitive themes, the energy of places and people you are sussing out, you are getting to know, you are being an expert in, the situations of your mental health or your trauma or how you communicate about those things, you will be somebody that as you're moving out of this, you're going to just skip from the very beginning to the very end and be able to have this very strong, healthy take on all of those types of themes that we were talking about in terms of your intuition, your emotions, your empathy, and how to communicate through that. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers for all three. Can I get some clarifiers for pile 3 on the energy that they are working with, advice, and some of the signs that they are on the right path, and what is to come? Clarification on advice for pile 3. And where they are heading. Signs that they're on the right path and the next steps forward for pile 3. We're going to take that as well. All right, pile 3, let's go ahead and get into it. So we have the Quickener, the Serpent, or that's what this is called in this deck. It's actually the Tower, and it is being reversed. This feeling of perhaps a lot of emotional turmoil in terms of the karma that you are working with right now. There is a reassurance that it is not going to, the rug is not going to get pulled out from underneath you. This is not something that is going to be a sudden trauma. I feel like this is about past trauma. I feel like the Tower being reversed, clarifying the Six of Shells, is just reiterating and confirming that there has been intense moments for you in your past, pile 3, that left you devastated, that left you confused and feeling like constant Tower moments that were just utter confusion, and like the rug would be pulled out from under you, like the other shoe's going to drop. There's definitely depth and intensity here, but this is being emphasized that it's in the past, and that's what you've been working on and working towards, and that healing is coming. Our advice is the Sacred Spinner or the Spider. This is the Wheel of Fortune. This is also being reversed under our advice, under this conversation, communication, energy, and messaging. Now, this advice for the Wheel of Fortune being reversed, it's again giving me huge karma vibes. This is a huge confirmation to me when you have the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune in reversal within this karmic reading. There is nothing like that you need to be worried about. There is nothing and no one that you need to be worried about in terms of the energy that you're working with, pile 3. This Wheel of Fortune being reversed and the Tower being reversed is kind of confirming to me that you are in exactly the right place at the right time. You have the ability to speak to people, and it can be the catalyst for their Wheel of Fortune to turn. But karmically, what you need to just sort of be confident in yourself is that you have been through everything that you need to be going through in terms of these lessons, the wisdom, the themes that you've been dealing with, and the Wheel of Fortune being reversed under this conversation is like the conversation is coming from you just having that intuitive knowing of having to go through all of this. I feel like sometimes in spirituality, we come across lessons or themes of high vibrational living, or, you know, thinking positive thoughts, or the law of attraction, or, you know, those types of teachings which, you know, have value. I don't think that we should demean anything in its entirety, you know, about the types of things that we're speaking on now. And I think that there sometimes does need to be a focus on, you know, trying to work through energy by really pushing through the negativity or the exhaustion that naturally comes. This is kind of giving me, say whatever comes to mind. You do not have to talk constructively about your karma and the energy that you're working with. You don't have to be politically correct when it comes to the conversations that you are needing to have. These conversations are coming from a divine space, and they're coming from a place you've earned the right to be able to have an opinion. You've earned the right to be able to disagree. You've earned the right to be able to speak your mind, speak your truth, put a boundary up. And that's really the advice that I'm getting from this middle column. That's the energy and the messaging that I'm getting. In the final section of your tarot cards, in terms of what are you moving towards, what is next, what are some of the energies that you will be seeing, some of the signs that you're seeing, knowing that you are on the right path, we have the Seven of Branches and the Knight of Shells. This is the Seven of Wands and the Knight of Cups, Salmon, and the Lizard in this deck. Now, the Seven of Branches is talking about being very protective, and this is a beautiful card in my opinion. I love this deck. This protection, this energy of being protective of yourself, that emotional boundary with this Guardian of Shells, the King of Cups here, like we talked about, he is very strong with his boundaries. You're being protective of yourself, protective of your energy, protective of your emotional body, your mental body, just your boundaries in general. You're very strong on, and that is how you know you have definitely integrated these lessons and that you have definitely walked the path that you were meant to walk, because you're going to come out being a very strong person who can set your boundaries and protect yourself, and you can talk about these things and feel empowered to talk about your journey. We also have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. The Nine of Cups is freedom. The Nine of Cups is self-assurement that you have gotten yourself to the point that you're at now in this feeling of freedom, in this feeling of, we've had the depths, right? And the ocean. We have this manatee who's swimming. We have this shark who's at the very bottom of the depths. And then we have these salmon who are jumping out, experiencing that sort of free energy. And I love that the rainbow is connected in both of these cards as well. So let's go ahead and get a few more cards to just see if we can get any more information about the energy that you're working with, pile 3. The karma, the energy. Can we find any more information? Can I get another card for pile 3? We had a few cards that came off, but this card is the one that wants to be in your reading. Let me just grab these other ones. Let's see. The Cosmic Heart, Devotion, Potency, Make Your Life a Moving Prayer. So I'm definitely getting that, you know, if you resonate with the term Earth Angel, I'm getting like an Earth Angel vibe from you. You are definitely so kind, so beautiful of a soul, pile 3, and of a person. And I do think that you already make your life a moving prayer by feeling so deeply like you do and knowing so intuitively about people, about energy, about these things that you're working on, the boundaries that you need to create to protect yourself. You are making your life a moving prayer by doing that, by verbalizing, having conversations, saying your prayers out loud to your team, your guides, and being able to verbalize the journey that you've been on is a big part of your purpose, your destiny, and why you're going through this experience. pile 3. So lastly, I want to get an astrology card. Your natal chart will be specific to you, and the transits that are occurring for all of us in the collective will affect you specifically with your natal chart, but I like to get one astrology card. Maybe it's a jumping off point for some of you. Go and look at your natal chart, see where this placement is for you, and it should give us some more information about the energies that we're talking about for further messaging and clarification between you, Spirit, and your team. So Spirit, can I get one astrology card for pile 3 to help them integrate and understand the karma that they are working with currently? We've got the Sun. Another pile got the same exact card. So I'm not exactly surprised to see it, especially given a lot of the energy and themes that we have in your pile. You definitely deserve some self-love, some attention on you. Pile 3, you deserve it. You're the type of person that does feel so deeply and has gone through so much in your life. So look up personally, whatever your sun sign is. You're probably going to know if you know anything about astrology, but look up what it is doing with the current transits. I know that Pluto just went direct into Aquarius a few days ago. We just had a full moon in Aries recently. So see what your sun sign is doing currently with the astrology and the transits, and see if there's any further information about this energy. Well, that's all that I'm seeing. Thank you so much, pile 3, for being here. I'll see you guys next time.